How does today find you? Every good story needs a hero. The High King, his champions, and the Dark Iron Dwarves worked together to save Ironforge. The other dwarven leaders were ashamed of their behavior and vowed never again to allow fear or distrust to cloud their judgment. And so it was a human king who helped to unite the dwarven clans so long divided. Free to trust one another, all three dwarven leaders pledged their full strength to the Alliance cause. Meanwhile, in the city of Orgrimmar, War Chief Garrosh Hellscream sent goblin dig teams all across the continent of Pandaria. He promised gold and riches to any who could discover for him the hidden secrets of this land. That failed Pandaria was such a dark and powerful energy. To my surprise, his people have found something right here in the Sacred Vale. What will happen now? Oh, the story is still being written.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Meoni of the Clismcast, and we are continuing our series of videos looking at the new scenarios in the 5.3 public test realm client of World of Warcraft, which the patch will be launched on Tuesday the 21st of May. So we're looking at the Dark Heart of Pandaria scenario next, which is the second in line of the 4 scenarios available in this patch. I was incorrect last time by saying there was only 3, there is in fact 4, and we're going to go through each one of them. This one is a direct correlation afterwards. Lore Walker Cho asks you to indulge in the sleepy time juice or whatever the hell it is that makes you see things from other people's perspectives. Now, you may notice that in that intro, Lore Walker Cho mentioned the desecration of the Vale of Eternal Blossoms and the area which the scenario is placed. And that's not a lie. So if we look in the normal world, I'll just do a flyover, you'll see that Garrosh's forces and little goblins have been mining away at this section in between the 2 shrines, both the Alliance and the Horde one, just outside of Mogashan Palace. This area here is now a quarry. They've completely ruined this place. And basically the scenario takes place when they first did that and what they found deep underground. Of course, the scenario itself contains huge spoilers, and you should not watch any of these videos if you are against that. However, this will show you a little bit of a walkthrough like the first video. I'll skip past the crap bits and we'll see a lot of lore. This one is a lot shorter than the previous, so obviously there won't be as many speeded up bits. So let's start it off, shall we?
Thank the laws of physics you're here. We found something down there. Something huge. And all of a sudden the rocks started fighting back and everyone went crazy. It's bad business. Please, just make it all stop.
The start of this scenario involves killing a large elemental awoken from the goblins' mining activities in the zone, and many other elementals along the way hinder your progress towards the boss in small groups, which are easily manageable separately. They are fairly basic opponents, to be honest, with the noticeable abilities coming from both the boss and the larger elementals. 2 mechanics will need to be noted. Firstly, an AoE Rain of Stone, which you can simply step out of. It does periodic damage if you stand inside it. The other is a chain or laser ability that targets at range and channels damage periodically at the target. And of course the boss will follow exactly the same mechanics as I've just mentioned, so once you have killed the boss, who isn't really much of a challenge, the next stage will begin. Here we need to collect 50 artifacts. Now these can be collected by walking over them. They're in chests that you can see that glow around you. You'll easily be able to recognize them amongst the quarry here. And you can do this also whilst mounted, so get on your mount and start collecting them pretty fast. Obviously there are lots of mobs around in packs that you'll probably have to clear to get all of them that you need, but you can skip a few packs. An actual achievement is awarded to you for gathering a certain amount on your own. So if you do collect a lot and have high contribution effort towards finishing this stage, you can actually get your own little achievement, which is definitely worth it and definitely worth noting. Next up, it is up to you and your friends or favourable heroes that you have joined with to enter the cave that's in the other direction actually from where I am, and help a goblin inside the actual cave at the back blow open a wall to some hidden room that he's found with a big solid wall. This is where it gets interesting actually, as you will encounter these weird slimes. They're actually titled The Blood of Yorsage. Now if you're any sort of lore nerd, then you'll know that Yorsage is one of the old gods. So yeah, after clearing a way to the goblin and you rescue him from all of these slimy things, he will proceed to blow up the wall, which does reveal a big hole and a room of Titan construct. Believing the object in the middle of the room to be a chest full of various riches and gold, the goblin actually runs into the center of the room, only to be corrupted by the power of an old god, Yorsage, and basically he becomes the boss fight for this final stage.
Containment failure. Active defense matrix enabled.
The fight itself is a bit of a tough one actually, and it has two base mechanics. Firstly, periodically the room will actually spawn 4 green orbs at each corner of the sort of rectangle in the middle here. And these are green. These will spawn only for a limited time, but they will award healing and a heal over time to everybody in the room, essentially, and everybody in your group. Now these things do not stick around very long, only a few seconds, so it's probably best to just collect them as soon as they're up, really. Have somebody go and collect them up. If you have a tank and a healer in there, it's going to be a lot easier, but as you can see, we had myself, a warlock, and this warrior DPS, so we didn't have a tank or a healer, and the third person actually didn't even enter the scenario to begin with, so we just had an empty spot that didn't help us. Yeah. The other mechanic is that the boss summons small adds, which are sort of easy to kill. They're not elite, but there's a lot of them, and a huge elite one. So really this fight is a race against time without a tank or a healer. You can obviously take time to kill them separately and increase the time that you'll be in the instance, but if you're a full DPS group or if you're lacking people, then you have to kill him as soon as possible. So what we had to do on a couple of wipes actually here, we had to kill him, the main target, before the ads basically overwhelmed us and killed us. So we're using cleaves on the ads and stuff like that, you know, like Fellstorm on the Fell Guard, and obviously cleaves off a warrior. But yeah, we just had to focus him down and use the heals every time they're up. There's no way you can prioritize the use of the heals because they're unpredictable and they're not up long enough to sort of use a particular time that we need them. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and then we have this nice little lore segment.
Just what in the name of all that is unholy was that thing?
Step aside, goblin. This artifact is exactly what the war chief hoped to find here. I am taking it under Corcoran protection.
Oh, don't you worry none. I don't think anyone wants to touch that thing again. I'll collect the money and we are out of here. Hey, what is this, huh? This is barely a fifth of the promised payment.
You are paid for all workers present, foreman. The war chief does not compensate the dead.
No. See, there's a contract. Payment in full is required.
This is what has diluted the vitality of our precious horde. The war chief graciously permits the families of the dead to live in his city. To die in the service of the horde should be a great honor. But you see it as another opportunity to line your filthy pockets. Your kind disgusts me. Small, weak, honorless as thieves. Be thankful the war chief still tolerates your presence at all.
Yeah, we'll see who's got Garrosh's backwater coats.
What was that, goblin?
Oh yeah, hey, no, nothing. Your hugeness, for the horde and all that. Bye.
So I think you'll agree that was a pretty cool scenario, full of lore, and they're trying to make these a little bit more story-driven, and it's definitely a good way of telling the story to fill in the blanks up to patch 5.4's release, where we'll actually have a raid against Garrosh. We'll have some incentive and some idea of what he's up to by doing these things, so it's a really cool idea. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, leave a like and subscribe for more. My name's been Meoni of the Cast. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I'll see you next time, as next time we'll be exploring the depths of Rage Fire.
Eyes open. Also, even as the Alliance binds itself ever closer together, the Horde is ripping itself apart. My friend, something is about to give. I wish I could experience the next chapter of the story, but alas, I am just a storyteller. You, brave hero, you are strong enough to leap into the center of events as they transpire. Go now, go to Durotar. Make your mark as history unfurls around you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Meoni here of the Cast. Now, I have to... So again, we are using MacLeod 2.0 for this to test it out. So we're approaching the decoupling, and there we go. Oh, very good. Now, I've had a lot of issues in test flights with this. Basically, those rockets colliding